of people think fingerstyle guitar is just a bunch of patterns. And to elevate your playing, to take it to the next level, you're going to add a bunch of new patterns, maybe some rolls, add a couple fingers or two. Who knows? But did you know one of the most influential fingerstyle guitar players, the namesake of Travis picking himself, Merle Travis, did so with only 2 fingers. I mean, he did that with 2 fingers. I don't know what there is to say. But if you want to take your fingerstyle to the next level, to elevate your playing, let's take a tip from the man himself, Merle Travis, and see what we can learn from his tune, Cannonball Rag. What's up, my name is Kyle Orlow. Welcome back to the studio and to the channel dedicated to fingerstyle guitar playing, and today we're talking thumb picking. Different than finger picking, kind of, but it is finger picking. But it's thumb picking. It's different. And to most people who are themselves thumb pickers, they definitely put themselves in their own category. It's all very confusing. Just know it's usually kind of talking about a certain repertoire and style of playing and a certain group of players like Merle Travis, Jerry Reed, Tommy Emmanuel, people like that. They're thumb pickers who play fingerstyle guitar. We'll sort it all out. We're going to sort it all out. Because of course a rose by any other name would smell just as sweet, but there is something undeniably different about this thumb picking thing under the fingerstyle umbrella. So today I want to talk about just that, how Merle Travis took fingerstyle to the next level. But before I go into all the specifics of Cannonball Rag, everything he did with that tune, we got to talk about the most important thing in thumb picking, which is the thumb pick, which honestly, I kind of hate using, but I'm learning to love it. All right, so this is the one I use. It's from D'Addario. I don't remember the specific model, but I'll link it below. I haven't done this enough to really have an opinion about, whether this is a great one or not, but I think it's a fine enough one to start. It's not too pointy, it's a little bit stubby. I kind of wish it was stubbier yet. I haven't gotten into all that part of it is, modifying these, but I know that's a part of it too. One thing you should do is make sure it fits your finger. These are not one size fits all. There are like small, medium, and large. I don't think they're small. There's medium and large. I recommend heating this up, like just putting it in hot water or something like that, so it's a little bit more malleable, and then put it on your thumb. Because I did a gig with one of these ones on my 12 string, just like a supplementary little tune, and my thumb went numb. But if you're out there and you're someone who loves Merle Travis and the Chet Baker thing, but you try to thumb pick and you're like, no way, that thing is horrible, it's awkward, I can't feel anything. That was my reaction too. And I want to give you a little insight. There is a technique to this. There's a technique to this that's definitely, for one, it helps make the thumb pick feel less awkward and terrible. For two, it gets you closer to that Merle Travis, Chet Baker sound. Let me explain. All right, so the technique, we'll put this down for just a second and talk about how most people start when they learn fingerstyle guitar. So usually there's kind of some open hand and bent wrist with the way most people learn guitar in the fingerstyle tradition. I think it's a carryover from the classical world. And then there's kind of the opposite approach, which is this closed hand thing that a lot of blues players have adopted, where you instead of holding your hand open like this, you kind of flatten it out and rest it on the string so that the lower 3 strings are on the top of the bridge, something like that, and that gets you the muted basses. Both are fine. Both shouldn't hurt you or cause you any injury. They just get you different sounding outcomes. So the open hand gets your strings ringing all open. The closed hand mutes the basses, but the upper strings are still ringing out. Now, bringing that full circle with the thumb pick, if you put your thumb pick on and you try to play open hand, you try to do that open hand thing, it feels terrible. Your thumb's at the complete wrong angle, because when you play open hand, your thumb's kind of playing more on the corner. You're kind of playing more of the corner of your thumb. When you put a pick on, it's the side of your thumb. So you're kind of fighting the pick the entire time. When you flatten your hand out, you play the side of your thumb, which is where the pick is pointing out their exact right location. So there actually is a technique that's borrowed over from the blues and folk idiom into this thumb picking thing that's kind of required to know about if you want the thumb pick to feel comfortable at all. All right, so Cannonball Rag is a doozy. And if you've never checked out Merle Travis's chords before, you might get freaked out. But I want to start with just like your basic first position chords. Depending on the level you're at, it might not be worth trying to do some of Merle's chords yet today. But let's do this progression, this really cool reggae progression. It's a 6-2-5-1 progression. So it's in the key of G, starts on E. Let's check it out. Now just for fun, I would recommend just checking out playing this 2-finger just to kind of get his step a little bit more. But let's check about what makes his chords really unique. So you take an E chord, right? Now Merle would take it all the way up here to E7, which is just an inversion of the E, and then he thumbs over two frets with his thumb. This is a double thumbed chord. Same kind of rhythm, but we're playing a different voicing. Now for the A7, it's really subtle here. He just moves his thumb over to the 5th fret and then plays this A7 with a 9 on top. Check out how little actually shifts in the upper voicing. So if we took our thumb out of the equation, we've got this E7 and an A7 with a 9. It's only 1 finger different. Next chord, it's a D7 9 as well. It's got a 9 in it as well. And he's again double thumbing the 5th and the root. That's why it's called the D7 with an A in the bass. Moving to just a standard G, standard for most of us who use thumb chords. Now, if you couldn't do those double thumbs, you can get away with just playing an open E string. Just make sure you don't hit the A string. You can get away with an open A string. And then the D chord, you could just do like a standard like D9 chord and alter your finger from root to root or string to string. And then, I don't know, I still think you should do a thumb chord on G. Just depends on if you can do thumb chords or not. All right, and the B part of this tune, it's a thing all its own, which is tabbed out over on the Patreon, along with the slow play along for both of these parts. It's more of the Doc Watson structure of Cannonball Rag. It's just the 2 parts. Merle and Chet, they had other parts, more like showy parts, but Doc had just like these 2 parts. And hey, picks or no picks, it doesn't matter, right? It doesn't matter. They're just different sounds. This is just a cool application to start trying out a new idea for the way you play fingerstyle guitar. You may have noticed that the pattern I was using in this tune, it's different than what's commonly called Travis picking. And if you want to learn more about how far this pattern has come from the origins of the way Merle Travis played guitar, check out this video here next and I talk all about it. See you there.